Hey, you okay? How goes it? Tying's good. No, that's a clink hook. So I'm going to tie an emerger. Uh, it's a Charlie Craven variant. So he ties a fly called, or he's just started tying a fly called Food Stamp. So I'll just sort this out here, so that's better. At work and winding down. That's very nice. Is that the right fly? Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to tie this fly called a Food Stamp as soon as I get all this, so it looks good. Does that look okay? And it's an emerger pattern, and Charlie ties it for very specific fish in his area, but I'll be changing the colours a bit to suit what I need for where I go. And anyone who wants to tie it can pretty much do the same, I'm sure. It looks like a fairly versatile fly. So his pattern calls for brown marabou, copper wire, yellow dubbing. He uses yellow foam and caribou hair. Hey Jared, you okay? But I don't have any caribou hair. I don't think I even have brown dubbing, to be honest. I probably have got some brown. Yeah, I have actually. I've got some brown, but I don't want. I mean marabou, but I don't want to use it. So what I'll be using. Do you know the fly? Do you know the one I mean? So I'll be using this orange. I'll be using these. I'll put the hooks away now, but these are hens. There's one there. What am I doing? These are hens clink hammer hooks. This is size 12. I'll be using my favourite SLF black dubbing. I'll be using, in place of caribou, some short and fine deer hair. Soft enough, it should do the job. What else am I going to do? So yeah, I'll be using maybe this pheasant tail, which I want it to be black. So I'll use the trusty Sharpie to make it black. Some fine silver, what is this? Uni wire. And what else? I'll maybe put a bit of yellow Sharpie on the wing. See how it looks. So I've not tied it before. I saw it on his channel the other day. I thought I'll give that a bash. And it's really because Jack Prepper was talking about emergers, and I thought what would be a good fly that could tie, and then Jack can copy it. And I think this is not a bad little fly. I think it's not going to be too difficult to. It doesn't have difficult materials. You can chop and change them, right? I'll be doing chopping and changing already, so I'll just go with that. Yeah, nice to see you, by the way, Jared, at not 3 o'clock in the morning. So what I'm going to do is, I have got some black pheasant tail. I want to use pheasant tail first, see how it looks. I have got black, but it's a bit rubbish, a bit brittle. So I'm just going to colour this, because if you've got some pheasant tail and you've got markers, you can have almost any colour you want, as long as it's darker. So I'll just put a bit of colour on this first. It doesn't have to be super dark, but I just want it to be darker than the natural. And maybe I should put something down. I'll be colouring on my desk like a child. So I'll just colour up this pheasant tail first. Doesn't take the pen particularly well, but I don't want it to be completely black. I just want it to be darker. How's your day been, Jared, by the way? Or how is your day so far? I did, but I had to get up anyway, right? It was already wakey wake time, so as good as anyway. My youngest was doing her practicum. It is doing her practicum this week, so it was her first day, and she had to be there on time, and so it was worth getting up early and having everything done. So let me just get all my things in a line so I can see them where I want them. Get you out of the way. So I'll put a thread all the way down the hook. So I've got a nice base to tie on. And I'm not going to worry too much about bulk because this is nano silk, so it's not going to be too bad. And it will be counter wrapping the rib, so I'll put it on my side. My bob in a spin. I think that's enough. Wax my thread. And then I'll take this pheasant tail that I've sort of prepared and we'll see how it goes. If it's not good, it's not good. Then I'll just try some marabou next and see how that looks. Hey Jack, this one's for you, Jack. This is you said you wanted some emergers, right? So this is an emerger pattern that when I saw it I thought, oh, that would be perfect for Jack. So I want a tiny bit of tail sticking out, so it's like a trailing shock. It's pheasant tail, right? So it'll be super weak. It'll probably get bitten off in the first time a fish takes it, but not the end of the world. So I'll give it one wrap and then just pull this. Pull this back till it's small enough. Yeah, that'll do. Take this up, out of the way. And then I'll just wrap it around the body. So because it's the weaker material, it will go forwards first. I'm not going to bother putting my thread in front of it because I've got this under control. Couple of wraps here, get this wire out of the way. That will annoy me, don't go out the way. Yep. One in front, couple behind again to make sure it's locked in. Another one in front. And then I'll trim that nice and close. What I will do is to try and make it even a bit darker because it didn't take so well. Colour it up a bit more. So Jack, hopefully you've got some Sharpies, hopefully you've got some pheasant tail, cock pheasant, the centre feather. Let's get it down there, that looks better, that's taking the colour a bit better. I think my marker was a bit dry before, I don't use them that often. That's good. It doesn't wreck the fly, no, it looks buggy. Now, I took the wire on this side so that when I take my first wrap it goes under the tail rather than over it, which is what I want. And this is purely to protect the pheasant tail. So, and to give a nice segmented look. So a couple of turns over here, one in front, a couple of turns over, and then break that away. So now I'll put some trimmed up close-cell foam on the top. So what I'm going to do is, this is really thin thread, so I've got to be careful with the foam because it will just cut straight through it. So I'll make sure it's nice and flat first before I put any wraps and any pressure on this. And then leaving a little bit sticking out, just give it a couple of wraps over the top. Not pulling too tight first. Have a look how that's sitting. It needs to come back a bit. So 3's enough. And if you're worried about it, what you can also do, the tiniest bit of dubbing, put it on your fine diameter thread, and then a couple of wraps with the dubbing on will stop it cutting through the thread. It's okay. I'm trying to do this from memory. I think it was dub the thorax. So in his pattern he used yellow. What I would suggest you do is whatever hatches in your neck of the woods or wherever you happen to be fishing, just tie it up in those colours. For me, black is the best colour. It works virtually all the time. I must just fish where there's colourblind fish or something, I don't know. And I've got super dry hands again, and I didn't bring any water, so I need to get my dubbing wax. Just a little tiny bit on the finger. It makes twisting the dubbing so much easier. Don't want too much dubbing, enough to make a nice thorax. A little bit more maybe. I don't like overdoing the dubbing. Have a safe time home. Thanks mate, take care. So that's quite a lot of dubbing in fact, but that's okay. Add some more dubbing on now. I'll take my thread back here and put it in the middle of the dubbing, roughly. So I'll take some deer hair. You saw the German buddy fishing. Was he going mad again? Give this deer hair a bit of a clean. So just brush it out. Grab enough to do what I want to do. So what I want to do is lay a little wing on top of this. Did he catch anything, Jack? Okay, let's give this a inspection. So as always, try and clear out the under fur from your deer hair. It's not always the easiest thing. but at least try. Let's get rid of that bit there. This is super soft, so I need to be a bit careful with it. I'll stack it because I want it nice and level. And because I want the tips facing that way, I'll take the ear out of the stacker the way I want to tie it in. So measure it up. I want roughly the, you can see that, roughly the shank length. Pinch it and then I'll trim off the front. It's probably a bit long, but sue me. Bit more dubbing on the wax on the thread, and now I'll just tie this in. One loose turn, another turn, and then I want it to stay on top, but I'll just tighten it up here, and then I'll go through the split end, the cut ends with the thread. Make sure that's nicely tied in on top. So I've moved all that around. That's not the end of the world. Not quite what I wanted, but it will be fine. 5-inch bass. I don't think they made them that small anymore, Jack. I'll put a touch of dubbing over just to clean that up a bit. Okay, and bring this to the front. Now what I want to do is, I'm not going to try and split it so evenly, but I'm looking to cover the, I say I'm not going to split it evenly, but my OCD is taking over. So what I'm trying to do is just offer this to the front so that all this splays out. Let's just part that. Do my best to get it as even as possible, but try not to obsess. Come on, get over. That's the ticket. Okay, so then I want to make sure all this is going back. So I don't want it pointing forwards and getting in the way. Even though you can do that, it's not the end of the world, but I just don't like it. So, hey Gavin, hello. You think it was the same when you caught that? I thought it was 3-inch last time, Jack. If you thought it was the last one. So anyway, what I'll do is preen this back a bit and then stretch the foam gently, and then bring the thread over. So I'll make a little cover on it. Now we've realised I made a mistake already, but we'll come to that in a minute. Let's just pull this out of the way, gently as possible. There we go. And then try not to cut it. I'll put a few more securing wraps on there, and I will stick a bit of dubbing on it. Tidy up and to protect the foam before I tighten down on it. Couple of wraps with some dubbing. It's good. Now pull this back. Wraps under here. Get my trusty head cement prepared, and then I'll just finish this. Move this out of the way so I don't get stuff on it. Hold everything out of the way. And I'm being as agile and dexterous as I can possibly be. Get a bit of varnish on here. Just pull that tight. And then seat the knot. As always, because this is what's the word I'm looking for? GSP, I'll use a cutter. Now, this is too long obviously, so we'll trim that up. And I left the back one on by accident. I forgot to cut it off, so just cut that 2 or 3 millimeters, and at the front I'll do 2 or 3 millimeters as well. Now take these and just give them a bit of a splay out. They're too long. I think they're way too long, but that's okay. Then I'll give them a bit of a squish. Make it lay down properly, and that will do. So what the idea is, hopefully you can see that that will sit, make sure I've got no stuff on that will sit in the water about, it should float about here. Let's try and get it so we can see it properly. So it should float about here, so you get this tail bit under the water, and then the rest will be on top. And when the fish looks at it, it's not the best view in the camera, but some of this deer hair will look like legs and the rest will look like wings. It's too big. I admit that's way too big, but it will do the job and it'll float well. I'm going to fish it anyway. And the other thing that Charlie did was on his caribou hair. Let me get something. No, I'll use this. So he took his marker and just coloured the, well, actually looks nice, and coloured the actually looks better than I thought it would do. And he coloured the caribou. It's a different material, obviously it's darker and has some lighter bits, but it's actually quite nice. Sorry you can't see that, you can see some fat fingers, but some little bit of colour on it to just make it look nicer. And the idea is, actually that is a bit too big. Let me just trim that down a little bit more. There we go, and trim the front bit. Another thing, Jack, is with, I'm not going to do it on this, but with this closed cell foam, it's good practice just to run a lighter over it to seal it. But obviously if you do it on here, you'll burn everything. Hey Jay, you okay? So yeah, this is it's Charlie Craven's food stamp in a different colour, but my opinion is it's all well and good copying exactly the same as everyone else, or just change the colour to suit whatever hatches in your area. So that will float all day, won't need too much floating on it. So you just capture the chat. Hi Gavin. I think it was the same one I caught last time. Sorry, I think I've read that. Jack, Gavin, brother. So Gavin, hi Jack, brother. What's the best fly I've made? From what? What do you mean, Gavin? Do you mean the best fly as in a competition type thing, or what my favourite fly? What would you? What's the question? Jay says hi everyone in chat. So yeah, Jack, I think you'll be able to tie that, and you'll have success on it in the rivers, maybe in the still waters as well. The ones that catch the most fish are the ones I fish the most, but I would say one of my favourite flies that I like to fish is, let me just put it in the vise so you can see, this scruffy thing. So this one has been, oh, this one's been fished. This is a bit of a big version. Let's get that off there. Yeah, it's gone. So this is Dynamite Harry in black with Aero Wing, body and wing, Coq de Leon, tail fibers, and I think that's K-pop or that super fine dry fly dubbing. These things catch a lot of fish. They have a nice profile, so from the bottom they look good. You only get the hackle here and the body sitting on the water, so they look realistic to the fish. Because remember, they always see it from underneath. And my other all-time favourite that I always like to fish and catch fish on is this one here? Yeah, so a clinkhammer or a variant thereof. I think for me this confidence fly, I fish these a lot. This one's a bit different, it's got some CDC in it, but for me these are great flies. Okay, catch. Hey Landon, thanks Jack. Nice, thank you Jack, I appreciate that. But that depends on how the water's looking though. Yep. Are shad the same sort of species as roach and rudd? If so, I think it will work for them. I think they are, Jay. I think it's part of the same species. At least part of the same as it genus. So after that first attempt, I quite like that fly, and I think it will do the job. So I'll tie another one and try not to get the wing too long this time. So same hook, size 12. This is a Hens BL 550, size 12. See what I told you, Jack, brother. And wax the thread. I could put a bit of super glue on the hook. I'm pretty sure my super glue is going to be glued shut. Oh no, it's not. So we'll put the tiniest drop of super glue to help stop it spinning. Slippy hooks and slippy thread. Just trim the wings down. I'm sorry. That's against my. I can't tie. I can't cut the tips off wings. Cutting the tips off natural fibers just feels alien to me. It's almost sacrilege. I'm sorry. I won't do that. I'll just get the. I'll get the proportions correct this time if I can. You guys don't eat shad over there, do you? Shad. I think some places they do. But a shad is typically like a pike bait, as I recall. Jay will know. Jay, you're a coarse fisherman, right? You'd probably fish for the odd pike with dead baits and live baits when you used to be allowed to do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try with Black Marabou this time. When Charlie Craven tied it, he oh okay. No, Rob, telling Jack about the colour of the water, brighter is better. Right, okay. Charlie tied this with Marabou, which looked nice. So I'll give that a go this time. Yeah, you can't cut natural fibres. There's a couple of exceptions. CDC, but even then, pinch it away. Marabou, and definitely pinch it away. But cutting it so it doesn't have that nice tapered tip and the nice colour of the tip, no. Good pike bait, yes. You have to check the area you're in for live baits or taking baits to freeze. Yeah. Of course, you don't want to be introducing invasive species or disease or anything. That would be totally irresponsible. the water here is crystal clear. That's nice, Jack. You can see the fish then. So again, I tied the wire in on this side because I'm going to counter it, and the weaker material goes with the thread. The weaker material in this case will be marabou. So put a bit of wax on the thread before I get going. See if this marabou blood quills are any good. Jared says the worst is when I see someone use a too large hacker and then trim around it with scissors. Oh yeah, that's it just looks odd when you do that, right? It doesn't have that natural taper. Doesn't look good in my opinion, but feel free to do it. I just would tend not to. I trim the tips and ruin the fly. Yeah, the tips are mostly that's the lovely taper, that's the colour, does all the cool stuff. You got the cast spot on, brother. Okay, Jay's Total Adventure says, if I take baits, I'll use them in the same venue, for example, with them reason diseases part. Yeah, I think we've just got to be responsible, right? Funnily enough, my cousin was the chief executive of the RSPCA, and he did frown upon me going fishing. It was a topic of debate. He's not anymore though. He's moved on to a different charity. Jack is bang on casting rod. Good. It's one of those things, you learn it, right? Once you get used to it, then it becomes a lot easier. So what I've got is a few strands of marabou. You can see, try and get it in focus, sort of in focus there. So these few strands of marabou, which I'm going to wrap around the body, and I want to get right to the tips and not cut them because they've got that lovely taper on them, and tie these in as close to the tips as possible. So I can have the tiny little bit sticking out the back, and then so I'll just give it one wrap and pull this in. I don't know if you can see that, but I want it just tiniest bit of tail sticking out. Give it another wrap then, nice and carefully, because it's very, very delicate material, especially the cheap marabou that I buy. Thanks, brother Gavin, you gave me some solid. Oh, that's nice. No problem, brother. Good. And you remember glue the flies, Rob? Why? Yeah, I do put glue on under some of my flies. I won't put glue under this though, because I think it will soak into the marabou, and I'll explain. You'll see why in a couple of seconds. Why I think the marabou needs to be as free as possible. So let's get this up here. Now just gently, gently, gently. Can't emphasize it enough. Gently wrap the marabou up the body. And yeah, I'm not against glue or anything, Gavin. I do glue a lot of flies. However, I think it has its place, and it does a great job. But in this fly, I'll just show you in a second. That'll do for the marabou. So a couple of wraps in front, behind. Sorry, one in front, two over the back. Yeah. So hopefully you can see that now. Now you can see how fluffy it is. Gets the right colour. There we go. So you can see that it's a lovely. And try to move it so that'll just move and pulsate like gills in the water. So it will look realistic. So I don't want that to get caked in glue and go hard and not move. I want that bit of movement in the water on it. So trying not to break my wire. Counter ribbit to protect the marabou a bit, and to give the segmentation. I like the look of that one already, even more so than the pheasant tail. So I didn't trap too many fibres down, but not the end of the world. But it has that lovely buggy look about it. So let me trim up a piece of this is too thick. Is that too thick? No, that'll do. So another fine piece of I know what Jack will be doing tomorrow, Rob, making bright flies. Yeah, bright flies on bright days, right? Stockfish, Daphnia in the water, orange. So again, I'll flatten that thread as much as I can. Yeah, hopefully there's nice, the silver will get the fish's eye. Hopefully it'll encourage them, yeah. So a couple of gentle wraps again. In fact, 3. I don't want to pull it down yet because I want to protect the phone against this cheese wire thread. So I'll protect it by putting a bit of dubbing on the thread. Don't have too much sticking out, so a couple of wraps of that, and then I can pull it down a bit tighter because it's not going to have the cheese wire effect on the foam. And this time I'll cut it off, trim it off at the back already, a couple of mil. I still can't believe how much glues and varnishes soak into materials like water to sponge. Yeah, it is a bit disappointing when you've tried a nice fly and put glue on it and then it just becomes a brittle mess. It's not good. So Jack Prepper nailed it. See you, Jack, brother. Hope you're taking this in. Yeah, this was inspired by you, Jack. After hearing what you said and thinking, let's go and find a nice pattern for Jack. And my not my top tip, but dubbing wax on the finger to help dub. Not loads, but just enough to give you some traction, because the stuff on my dry fingers does not work. I'll get that tightened up nicely. A couple of wraps and then tighten it. Remember, dubbing when you put it on always needs an anchor for it to spin around the thread better. And the dubbing grips to itself on the thread. It doesn't stick to the thread, it doesn't do any of these other things. It's basically twists itself around and knots itself up. So don't think that putting more wax on makes more dubbing stay on. It's all about twisting it catching something and then it tightening on itself. So again, into the middle. Try and get some deer hair. I'll be giving a bit of a clean. So you always got to get the fluff out your deer hair. You don't want all that horrible underfur going on. I'll get a little bit less maybe than last time. I maybe overcooked it. Cut it nice and close to the skin. Try and get rid of any broken pieces and clean out as much of the underfur as I can. You can do all sorts of ways. brush it, pull it out, twist it in your fingers, just get the stuff out. When you're happy with it, pop it into your hair stacker. You don't need to go mad with the hair stacker. A few taps should be enough, and if you're not happy with it when you take it out, if it's wrong, see, to the point about tips, if you look at the deer hair, you can see the dark tips and the taper. That's the magic of it, right? So let's line this up. You're a bit too long, so if I hold you there, I'm already going to put a little bit of wax on my thread, give my bobbin a little spin. It's already flat anyway. Not that you really need flat thread, but GSP and deer hair do not work well together. So again, just bring this over, one gentle wrap, two, and then I'm going to pinch it to keep it on top of the hook. I don't want it spinning, and then go through the cut ends till it's nice and tight down. And now I've got some thread on there, I can tighten a bit more on it. There we go. And I don't care if this has come off to the side too much, I can always bring it back, tidy up with some dubbing. An American fly tire jack, how can you not have foam? Isn't it against the law in 37 states not to have foam if you're tying flies? So this piece of dubbing is only to clean up a bit. It's not, because I've got a bit of deer hair here and I just want it to look a bit tidy before I tie it down. Don't really need to go mad. Right, push all this back. Now I'm going to bring the wing cover, thorax cover, float, whatever you want to call it, over the front. Again, trying to divide this, but without counting the hairs on each side. Which yeah, I can already feel myself doing it, but must stop. I'm going to flatten it down to get a bit of space. That'll do. Move these back so I can tie that down. Come on, get out of the way. Do as you're told. Good. So give this a little bit of a stretch. I'll get a couple of wraps over it. Again, not pulling tight. Don't pull tight because it will just cut the front off. Okay. And then again, a touch of dubbing. Any rules on foams when fishing competitions? I don't think so, Jay. I think the rules are about the fly size, the hook size, and you're not allowed to add weight. I think foam is allowed. I think here you buy the foam, get the vise free. Nothing wrong with those foam flies. So again, for anyone who's interested, a bit of dubbing on your thread, on the foam, you can cinch down a bit more because it's not going to cut in, right? Because the pressure goes on the hair. So that's good. I like that. Super sticky fingers with all that wax. So I'll pull everything out the way. Hopefully you can see. Oh, a bit of one hair stuck there. Do you know what? Let it be a bit messy. So it doesn't need a big head or anything on it, but a few wraps just to get everything seated, and then, oops, holding everything out the way. Let's get a few turns in. Which type of whip finish tool have you got, Jack? One like this, or the other type? Hey, wee man. You know what I didn't think to do? Get my head cement ready. I wasn't properly prepared like the good Boy Scout. Try not to get marabou in there. Move that away so I don't knock it over. Okay, so like this one. Okay, Jack, so it spins, right? So when you grasp it, it spins. So what to do is hold it at the top so it doesn't spin. With, it's not the best camera I can get here from, so you want it this way, and just push it onto the thread, and then just pull the thread up behind, and then let the tool turn until you got this. I'll have to show you on a different. I can see that you can't see that. Let me stop wasting your time, and I'll get a different camera and we'll cover how to do it. It's tricky and annoying, but we'll get it done. Yeah, this is a clone. This is a cheap one from Amazon. I got 2 of them, in fact, for about, I don't know, €8 or something. But it's a whip finish tool, and if I need another one, I'll just buy another one because they're that inexpensive. Let's have a look what we've got here. Same Mattarelli, good. Vintage fly. So Jared says head cement is for guys that can cast. Real men hang it in a tree or bush in 10 minutes. Okay. And again, it's GSP. Rather than blunting my scissors, use the trusty cutter tool. So let's trim off the foam at the front. I mean, trimming off the foam is not, doesn't have to be exact. I do like them to be the same size, so you can judge it by eye, but don't worry about that being 100% perfect every time, as in from the size. Just get it as close as possible. And even so, if you want to leave a bit extra, leave a bit extra. You can always cut it off on the riverbank or by the side of the still water, wherever you fish. Just put it in your pocket or put it in wherever you keep your waste tippet material. So spread these. Those wings are just as big. How did that happen? It definitely did it smaller this time. Anyway, maybe it's born to be big. So I'm going to again put a bit of colour on it because I just like that. I think it looked quite effective. Using my professional Sharpie dye system. It's more for me than the fish. I just like the colour of it. Vintage. You're joking, of course. Of course, yeah. Jay says, every time I hand whip finish, it looks messy and horrible. Take it I need more practice and hide my tool somewhere. Jay, I just read that out loud and it sounds wrong. Thanks for that, mate. Wee man, nice. Thank you. Jack, those are awesome. Cheers, Jack. Evening Mob, very good instruction video, thanks. You're more than welcome. So again, it looks a bit too neat and it's going to get chewed up. Let's give that a bit of a squish. So some of it looks like legs and some of it looks like wing, and yeah. And then every time I fish it, I'll have to adjust it anyway. But again, I think I like this pattern because you could put any colour body on it, you could put any colour foam on it, and you could colour any colour dubbing. I just like black because it works, and you could colour the wings any colour. So regardless of what's hatching in your area, change the hook size, change the colour, and a bit like the Dynamite Harry, you've got a fly that can imitate virtually any hatching insect. And when the fish looks at it, all they see is this tail coming down the body, which will be fluttering, and then it will look like legs, and it will float. It will sit nicely in the film. Wee Man, I think it was originally tied to be a mayfly imitation, but in the merger, yeah, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to follow the exact recipe, right? And you can ad-lib a few things here and there. But I think that'll catch fish. So Vintage says, I'm going to be totally serious here. The more fish I catch on a fly, the more they tear it up and the more strikes I get. They'll hit a shredded up fly before a new one. Yes, I'm definitely with hare's ears. I cannot disagree with that statement one tiny bit. They definitely do hone in on them. Tidy fly, it'll float all day too. Thanks, Jay. Hopefully, even in the rough water, I think that'll be able to hold up and sit nicely in the water as well. I think that should do the job. Okay, good. Good. So what does everyone think? Do you prefer the marabou body or the coloured pheasant tail body? Sticking on top of them. Thanks, Chad. I appreciate that. Can you see that? Yeah, it'll be once they've finished their funny business. There you go. Both. Cheers, wee man. I mean, it's like pick a number and you pick two. No, that's okay. I'm more liking the marabou. Apart from that one long piece there, I'll just trim him away. Jack likes the marabou. And again, you could change the colour of the marabou, of course. You can change the colour of the ribbing. Just don't use really thick wire. You want it to be as light as possible. Marabou is more lifelike. I think so, yeah. I think it'll have that nice flutter. And marabou is easy to work with. I'll chuck one in the. I'll chuck this pheasant tail one in the prize drawer thing, so it can go on the magnet with everything else, and then I'll clean it all up and put it in the envelope and get it sent. Why would you think the other would float better? I can't spell it, but I like it. That's okay. Absolutely fine. Everyone knew what you meant. Wow, I've got 17 viewers. I think that's a record. So 17 people, thank you very much. So, Marabou has it. I can't spell it, but I like it. Yeah, I read that already. So I hate to disappoint you, but I think I'm only going to tie another 5 of those, so I've got some for my box. Wee Man Jack, I can't spell Mattarelli either, but we can all read it. Vintage, Marabou absorbs the water, the pheasant's tail will repel it slightly. Aha! Yes, that's true, but I have a cheat solution. I'll be putting on a bit of watershed to make sure that it stays where I want it to stay. And I've covered that in super glue, not good. I have sticky fingers for a month now. So all these people who've got rotating vices, who don't rotate them, why? What's that all about? I couldn't get on without moving my vice to have the thread hanging where I want it to hang, or get a look on the other side of the fly. So Marabou has the natural oils washed out already, but the floatant will do wonders. I can either do that or rub a little bit of CDC oil into it. Ever use Frog's Fanny? Crazy name. No, I haven't actually. Can you get it in on this side of the pond? I've heard of it, and I've seen people talk about it and say they use it, but I've never seen it for sale. What I do need to do is get myself some Mucilin, the red version. Bit wax on this already. I think most floatants are good, right? Yeah. And definitely with dry flies, the trusty old elastic band I always find is the best way to dry it out and get it out in front of another fish again. Sometimes give it a bit of a squash with some Amadou, and then it's good to go. Most of the time. So I'll take again the Marabou. I pre-treat with fly agra. If your fly floats for more than 6 hours, consult a local fly shop. I fell into that one. Thanks, Chad. Jane, it really upset me when I used to get people not using the rotary part of the vise before I got the new one, then release sometimes. It's just easier to do it normally. And then realised, sorry, sometimes it's just easier to do it normally. Sorry, Jane. Read that wrong, mate. What's Jack saying? What's selling? What's selling what? This isn't the best Marabou in the world, though. I'm already getting the dye coming off on my fingers. No, Jane. No problem, mate. See the amount of typos I do in a day. Some of them quite embarrassing. Not for me, but for the people who read it. Yeah. Stray fibre. I'm not Googling fly agra. Go to prison. probably wouldn't last a week either. I've not really heard of it, Jared, to be honest. If it is a real thing, then no, I've not heard of it. I'm a bit of an old-fashioned guy. I've got my CDT oil, Gink, because Gink has been around since I was about, I don't know, 3 years old or something. And now I like the look of Mucilin paste because it looks a lot cleaner. And the problem is when I find in the summer when I go fishing, my Gink melts all the time and it squirts all over my hand, and I have to keep washing my hands to get that off because I don't want it on my tip. It's just a pain. I find it really difficult to deal with, and then getting a tiny bit on the back of your hand and trying to apply it with your pinky finger so you don't get it everywhere. It's a lot of hassle. No, I'm totally serious here. 100% it's fly floatant. Okay. Flyagra. I'll look it up. Let me just rib this. I need to see so I can get the. I should be able to do it without looking by now, but I can't. I use it too. It's great. It's a liquid. Dip the fly and let it dry overnight. Then throw some Gink on. Ah, okay. So it's like a pre-treatment. Okay. I don't know, Jay. The right amount for me. Let's see. I don't know what I've got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 or 10 or something. Not too many. Not too many. More than 3 or 4. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 8 or 9 there, I think, Jay. Oh no, 10 maybe because there's a little one in there. Let me see. About. I don't count it as such. I just that many. About that many. So what's that? It's about. Is that a cent? No. Hang on, I can count it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 there are. I wouldn't fret. 10, 8, 9. Enough to cover the hook. So I get my trusty foam, my long scissors, cut it too big the first time and then cut it about 15 other times to get it right. And what I will do, like a good citizen, so I think I said earlier, good practice with closed cell foam is to just give it a quick, not till it melts totally, but where you've cut it, it'll start to seep water in, so just give those ends a bit of a burn. And it basically seals it up for you, so it floats longer. Top tips. And what I'll do is instead of cutting it, I'll try and tie it in the right length this time. So I'll just gently tie it in first, keep it on top. Vintage, Rob. Yeah, Gink kind of just gets on the surface, but the Flyagra penetrates and seals out the water. Then Gink over the top and it's bulletproof. Fly looks like it's hovering over the water. Yeah, this stuff's supposed to be the same, right? So it permeates and gives 1 or 2 drops is all that's needed for application on fly, hackle, dubbing, leader or braided loop. Should be applied directly on the fly or material and then rubbed in. Apply at least 1 day prior to fishing. It will not affect colour and is odourless after 24-hour cure time. So yeah, this stuff, waterproofing, permanent waterproofing liquid. I guess they're very similar. So a bit of dubbing wax on fingers because they're super dry still. It's too much dubbing, but it's okay, I can split that up. And again, a couple of wraps with the dubbing on, and then start to cinch a bit more, holds it in place. Couple in front, come here. Sorry, Jay. Guess it's depending on hook size. Yes, yeah, depending on hook size, but you're not going to tie these in really, really big sizes. And tying them anything smaller than a 16 is probably not going to work either. I think your sweet spot with these 12s, 14s. I've been trying to read up on liquids. I end up getting frustrated with myself. Do you mean liquids for head cement and yeah, the water soluble ones, or sorry, not water soluble, I'm wrong there. Water based ones versus Cellier versus who's the nail polish person? Someone Hansen, Sally Hansen versus yeah, loads of companies do it now as well. Glues, floatants, solvents, all of the above. Sounds like a misspent youth. Ask away in the comments, Jane. There's enough people there with enough knowledge who'll be able to answer your questions, I'm sure. Brilliant camera work, thanks. It keeps turning off. It's annoying me. Never mind. Sure saw a broken end in there somewhere. No, no. So do not make it too big this time. Yeah, let's pinch it there. Yeah, reading about all those will give you as big a headache as huffing the fumes off them. I think everyone has their favourites, right, as well, so and you'll have various use cases. It's not very even. Even's not the problem though. Especially at the same time, but hey, I'll give it another go in a few days. Head's spinning at the moment. Let's give that a bit of a tidy up. Level this up without breaking it. Not good. This one just feels a bit skew whiff. That'll do the job. Okay. Draw this back. Just a little bit of a stretch. Sorry, I can't get these hairs to stay where I want them to. Got you. Give this a bit of a stretch. And then a couple of wraps over. Gently. Because again, I don't want to cut the thread. And I'll run the risk of doing so. How thick is the foam? Hi Brian, it is, I think that's 2 or 3 millimeter? 2 millimeter. 2 millimeter. I think it's all hairline, or is it? I think it is. And I bought it originally to tie chubby chinobles. Move this back out the way again. Good old fashioned bit of dubbing so I can cinch that down without cutting it. A couple of wraps here. 2 point. I honestly, I'd have to check. Let me see if I put it all in one pack. It could be 2.5, could be 3. It's Have I got a ruler? Have I got a ruler? Yes. Let's have a look. God. Can't really see on this. It's all worn out. That's 2 millimeter. The thing is, on this fly, it's not this isn't the foam isn't going to float the whole fly anyway. The wings will. They'll sit on the surface and stand on the surface tension. They'll be the bits that hold the fly up. Flat Daddy size could be. Flat Daddy, that's a Steve Cullen fly, isn't it? I think. You're welcome. No problem. Cheap crafting stuff I get is 2.5. Comes in A4 sheets. It's all the same, right? The closed cell phone. Well, not all the same, but I think you know what I mean. There's not much in it. Am I going to risk this one? Hopefully Matty never sees this. There we go. See how that ends. Give these wings a bit of a pull out. Quite like the little stragglers that I caught him when I was doing the dubbing. They do look like legs. Oh god, it still looks long. It's weird. Yeah, the colour, and you can use any colour foam you want really. I like orange because I can see it in all different, in dark and light conditions. Yes, Steve's the originator. Steve, right? It is Steve Cullen. He's an editor of Trout Fisherman or Fly Time magazine or something. Yeah, let's let that dry a bit and then give it a bit of a mash. Not too much, just scruffy enough. Yeah, that wing's probably almost where it needs to be. The orange has nothing to do with attracting the fish, it's just a sighter. So you can see it, like the orange foam post on my cicada I showed you the other night. Yeah, they see it from the bottom, right? And can I yeah, maybe can I simulate that? So the fish sees it from that angle and it looks like that. Let's wait for that to come. So this is how we're looking at it, but then that's how the fish sees it basically, because the bright light's above it. It's probably not the best example, but the colour's gone, right? You just see the silhouette, you see the outline. Was it you or Craig who used a hot iron tool normally? They're expensive. I was thinking of a hot iron tool. I don't. Do you mean a cauterizer tool? What do you mean, Jane? I'm not sure. It must have been Craig then, because I do have a cauterizer, but I don't really use it that much with time flies. It's normally for stripping difficult flies. Thanks, Jack. I've been known to warm the dubbing needle to position the legs and deer hair. Okay, you'd have to make a video on that or show us what you mean with that. I'd be scared of burning everything. Which I do prefer those with a bit of the squishiness in there. I don't want to ruin it totally, but I like that bedraggled look. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, this thing you mean? Oh, this. Get it away from the fly. This thing. Press it and it heats up. What it should do there. There we go. I can't remember. It's like, I don't know. I can't remember how much it cost, to be honest, Jane. But what I do know is this one, you can't replace the batteries in it, and I was a bit disappointed. Yeah, you have to buy the whole thing, which I thought was a bit poor. Brian, nice. Warm needle, and you can curl the hair any way you want, like a woman's curling iron. That, like a curling iron, it's not just for women, is it? I think men can use them too. We are in equal opportunity society. A hair straightener, do you mean, wee man, or hair curlers, or cautery tool? Well, I'm going to need to see how that works and think of how to apply it. So if any of you can do a session and show us what you mean with warming up the feather, the hair to curl it, that would be great. Because it's something I'm not doing. And I don't want to be missing a trick. Oh, that's going to ping if I'm not careful. Just checking, wee man. Just checking. Not judging, just checking. I tried curling my back hair once. Wife didn't like it. Yeah, they tend to get upset about stuff like that. Like using their toothbrush to do your fly tying stuff. They just get all... They don't understand. This is a bit strange. Dubbing needle cheaper and burns the glue off. Yeah, I'm always trying to clean my needle. That sounded wrong. That didn't come out right. I'm always trying to keep my dubbing needle clean. Cast tail 2. Sorry. Showed see what a hairdryer does to a squirrel tail. Brilliant. Calf tail 2. Do you not have to wash it first or just warm it up? Oops, I didn't want to do that. overcooked it. I hate having little kinks in my wire, and use my cheap scissors to trim it. So I normally run my nail over it just to remove any kinks, but this piece was a bit too much. And anyone who's here who hasn't seen some of Jared's really impressive stuff, the rods he makes, the flies he ties, knowledge of the banyan bug and everything Americana fly fishing, it's pretty impressive. I highly recommend that you take a look at his channel. It's cool stuff. I used my wife's toothbrush once when I stayed over 20 some years ago. She got mad. I was like, what the heck? You had your tongue... Oh, yeah. Had to read that out loud as well. Can't fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice though. I'm just dry. Okay. I wouldn't have thought to do that. I've seen David McPhail do it on a. David McPhail do it on some of his flies, where he just blows them with a hairdryer, the wet soft hackles, just to get them to do what he wants them to do. Couple of loose rats and give that a little. Give a bit of a longer tail on it. You'll be right. There we go. There's one that's gone over the wrong side of the hook there, and I don't want that to cause me a problem. There we go. Ah, you're more than welcome. I was really impressed with what I saw. I just thought, wow, someone really knows their stuff and really cares, right? It's nice when you find these people. Must be the heat, it'll burn your fingers. Only thing I can find rechargeable is like a cosmetic tool. What are expensive? Otherwise, it's buying disposable one. Yeah, it seems odd that you can't replace the batteries in it or replace the tip. Seems odd. Same result as steaming feathers back to life. Yeah, I've done that. Steam the feathers to get them to get the kinks out, or yeah, make them behave. I don't really need to do this. It's a rough fly anyway, but I don't like that piece there. Yeah, I don't know, Jay, to be honest with you. I wanted one because I was had a big pot of flies that I just didn't like, so rather than throw them away, I wanted to recycle the hooks, and I did, and I've used those to tie a load of flies for the next giveaway. So whoever gets that giveaway, not only are they supporting the channels, but they're doing the right thing by using recycled materials, which is nice. Shows we care. You never steam feathers, Jay? Yeah, just hold them over the kettle, or if you've got a steam tool, and it will just help them return to their natural shape if they've been squished or kinked or anything. Just helps them return. No, they don't fall apart. There's a few good videos out there that you'll be able to find on that. I'm going to stop doing that because it's just too OCD. Yeah, I do like that marabou. It does look cool. Maybe, I think I need to find, it's getting a bit long now. Those strands are a bit, the barbs are a bit long. I need to clean up a bit. So again, on with the foam, just gentle rats. It doesn't matter if it spins. Tidy that up as soon as I put the dubbing on. Excuse the state of my fingers and hands as well. I was doing some lawn care earlier, removing some unwanted grass. I think that's too far forward. Didn't give myself enough room to get that wing in. Be careful, yeah, obviously be careful. I mean, we're all grown-ups, right? I figured a video dyeing feathers would be good though. It's super easy to do. I use it all the time when I need an odd colour, like blue or bright yellow, orange. It's not that simple though, is it? Because you have to bleach everything first and then you have to colour it. Otherwise, you can't dye black feathers white. It's not just, you have to bleach them and then you take the colour. Or we see Davey do some things where he dyes things yellow and they come out a lovely golden olive colour. But yeah, it just seems like a lot of effort to me, and then setting the dye with salt or whatever you have to do, and then rinsing it in cold water, and if you're not happy, always go back. Yeah, as long as you've not glued it all down and whip finishing it all over the place, then you can always undo it. And you don't want that one fly that you never fish because it just doesn't look right. But you were too, I don't know, too tardy to do it right in the first place. Jared, Rob, start with a white feather or grizzly. Yep, that makes sense to me. So again, in the middle, prep my deer hair, do everything, tie it in too long. Can this old dog learn a new trick? Let's see. And this is the right use for deer hair. None of that deer hair muddler nonsense. I do like a muddler. I think the best guy for deer hair, if you want tips on how to tie any deer hair flies, is probably Kelly Gallup or Cheech from Fly Fish Food. Those guys can do amazing things with deer hair. Blah blah blah. You don't have to do all of that salt and stuff. I'll do a video on it soon. Super simple. 5 minutes and it's done. Go tie. Okay, trust you. Yes, Jared, I dye all my own here. Squirrel, pheasant. Make some shades a good, unique colour. Yeah, bespoke, right? Vinegar to make the dye take. Some stink. I've never done it. All vinegar stinks, doesn't it? It has vinegar smell. Vintage. 50% water and 50% of 5% vinegar. It's just white vinegar, like cleaning vinegar, yeah? Stuff you use to get rid of lime scale. Obviously not your sarsens you put on your chips, which probably most of the Americans don't know what we mean with that, but I'm sure Jay does. Right, don't mess this up this time. So I'll give that a bit of a spin. So it, you know when you counter spin your bobbin, you probably can't see me counter spinning, but I'm spinning it anti-clockwise because I'm a right-handed tire. When I spin it anti-clockwise until it starts to coil and then lift it up, the thread will always jump back towards your fingers and towards the material, so you can get that tie-in point. Whereas if you don't do that, you can sometimes struggle to get the thread to where you need it to be. Which is a tip from Wayne Llewellyn and also from Oli's Flies, so Vladimir. Also both very good tyres and well worth looking into. And probably, yeah, if Jack's still there, when you apply dubbing, if you're a right-handed guy as well, twist it clockwise, because each time you put the thread around the hook you introduce a twist. So only ever twist your dubbing in one direction as well. Don't move your fingers this way, just always twist in the same direction because it holds better and then it tighten on itself. And when you do the first wrap now, there's two twists in the thread now, so it will tighten the dubbing down. If you saw my Tropic Lightning fly short on the channel, that was a plain grizzly hackle 10 minutes before that. Okay, I'll look that one up. Hey Jack, yeah, so when you apply your dubbing, only ever do it one way, Jack. Don't think that you do it both ways, because you'll tighten it and undo it, and it will never stay on the thread. So only ever tighten it in one direction. If you're right-handed, tighten it clockwise. Always tighten it clockwise, and then when you wrap the thread, it will tighten it up. You can also, once you put your dubbing noodle on, spin the bobbin clockwise to help tighten the dubbing as well. It just gives it that bit of extra tightness. Do I always use GSP? No, not always. But on flies like this, I want it to be. I know that I can probably end up with. I could probably use a heavier thread or different thread, but I like the fine thread. I can flatten it, and it doesn't give me bulk on the flies. The dry flies, I don't want any bulk on there. I can get away with it, and yeah, it's just easier to tie with that because it's nice and fine, and you can give it a couple of extra wraps here and there if you need to without having a massive overdressed fly. But do I use it all the time? No, certainly not. Do I like using it? Yeah. And it's super strong, right? So it forgives the odd catching the hook point and all these little things that silk or standard uni thread or whatever, classic waxed polyester thread might not like as much. No, stop doing that. I'm still getting too obsessed with making that even, going against my own advice. So I'll give it a bit of a stretch as well after I push these back. Bloody things, get out of the way. And again on this, it's best not to catch too much, but if you catch the odd fibre, it will just look like legs. Nothing to worry about. Couple of wraps of this, pull it nice and tight under. Be right back. Thanks, Jack. Get my head cement ready. I know real men don't use head cement, but you know, us mere mortals. Oh, okay. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, it's one of those things that I think we've all done it. Use thread that's a fine denier thread, a bit too fine, a bit too strong, and it's just like cheese wire. It just cuts straight through, and yeah, can ruin your fly completely. I mean, I don't even mind a bit of black around it. I think it looks okay. Some people say, "Oh, that ruins it though. What are you doing? That looks ugly." But form follows function, right? It's got to function properly first. And you've got to be able to use your whip finish tool like a professional, not like I just did there. Jack, that's just giving you an example of how not to do it. Oh, he's gone, hasn't he? So good. Don't tell him. All fingers and thumbs there. Let's get that out of the way. That's it. Oh, no, 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 no. What have you done? Ah, got it. Try that again. Oh, I'm struggling with that today. That's because comfortable there. That's it. Okay. Oh, he's back. I did that especially for you, Jack, just to show that everyone has their day, right? Today's not mine. Yes, you can. You can still slice anything with it. Pull on it hard enough. Mortals and their head cement. Yeah, exactly. I would never have had all those issues if I wasn't so obsessed with head cement. Super glue all jig nymphs behind the bead. That's true. You can do super glue on those things because you don't want the bead to rattle about, right? Have a look at this. Eyeball it. Nice. Don't tell Matty. Just to seal that. I put 2, 3 certain whip finishes on my flies and send them. I've never had one come apart. Nothing wrong with using head cement. It's just a step. Yeah, I could probably get away with not using. I don't know. It's something I've just done forever. Maybe I need to unlearn that. See if I've got the magic wing size right. I don't know. Maybe they're a bit too long still. I don't know. Nah, they're okay. I just tied a grey gnat on a size 12 foot. Good stuff, Jack. I'd like to see that. I got stick for that. Which is that, Jay? Why am I opening that? What am I doing? Losing the plot. I want to colour the wings. Colour the wings. Get that dry. I just feel like it's a misconception that it's pushed in the fly community that you must have head cement. Well, you must not, right? You can use super glue, you can use wax, you can. I just think the durability is just that bit better, and especially when it's inside, when you put it on before you whip finish, then it goes in and coats, right? I'm trying to put head cement on here with I always use a needle, my old trusty old needle. It just wouldn't do the job, right? It'd get the eye covered and God knows what else. Anyway, each their own. But I guess if your fly falls apart, at least you can tie some more. So, and if it doesn't, great. Or if you lose it up a tree, that's a shame. That's good. I quite like that one. Nice and scruffy, nice and spider-like. I'm not doing with red wings. No, sorry, Jay. Someone said about cutting tips off feathers. Red wings also a no-no on wings for me. That's a line I won't cross. I would think about, but it's got to be a light colour, right? Because it's got to be wings. I don't know. No, I'm not going to put red on it. I would compromise with a different colour on the why does my camera keep doing that? I would compromise with a different colour on the foam. It wasn't my idea, Brian. I borrowed that from Charlie Craven. Oh, Jay. Have you got a red pen? Yeah, Jared. Wonder what they used in Scotland 500 years ago. Pine pitch off the boat in the yard. Maybe not. I think they would just use some wax. So I'm really sorry. I've got 3 more of these to tie, and I'm sorry if that's boring. I need to tie the. I need to tie them because I need to have that amount to go in the fly box, which has all the same flies in a neat, nice, pretty row. So when I go fishing, I can have a look at it and think, oh, that looks nice. And then when I come home, I've got flies missing all over the place. Okay, I see. Red on the body rather than the wing. Red body, yeah, I could see that. Maybe a red body could work. I'm thinking though, Jay, if I was going to put red on it, I would use some tinsel and have it as an underbody that shows through, so that the hook's wrapped with red tinsel, and then I put the marabou over the top. So I think that would look, it would look good because it looks like it's filling up with blood. Obviously the hemoglobin in the blood is what the fish will see as well, and it would act as an attractor because it has that bit of flash as well. And hatching insects are obviously pumping blood in their body to escape the shock. I bet they used the hide glue. Okay. Tyway brother, thank you. Beeswax been around 500 years plus. Has it? I think it's been around for a bit longer than that. Yeah, probably a pine tar like the Native Americans used. Okay. Pine tar. I used to get soap with pine tar in it, but I wasn't allowed to use it anymore because it was left a black residue everywhere. But it was nice. What am I doing? A Bibio version. Okay. I think it's one of those things like a Dynamite Harry though, or there's a few flies out there. You can just change them about, like pheasant tails, hare's ears. You can Dialbacks classic. People rarely tie the original Dialback anymore. I have got though. I've got my to your idea of red Jay. So my what are they called? Put on there. My tumble dry balls started to. They're old, right? So I need replaced. So I stole the took them, pulled them apart because they're sheep's wool, and I coloured this one with a red Sharpie. And my plan is to use that as the dubbing on a Tops Indispensable. But that's a later job. Yeah, probably pine tar. A Bibio version. Ace Rob idea. Tyrway. Thank you. Yes, endless. I mean, yeah, but that's the cool thing, right? You just find a pattern and then tie it to what suits your needs. I fish mainly in Austria on the mountain streams, and there's not big mayfly hatches, or there's not big hatches. There's a few, but not massive. So the fish are always looking up, and they eat a lot of terrestrials and anything that falls on the water. So black flies just covers everything. I find anyway, where I fish, black is always the colour of choice. Maybe claret now and then, sometimes olive, but my first fly on will be it will either be a black Dynamite Harry or a black clink. Hide glue has been around a long time. The Mongolians used it to build their horse bows. Cool. Ah, you mean so it's like, is it from the tanning, or do they just boil the hide and then whatever comes out turns into whatever they add to it makes it into glue? Is that how that works, Jared? See, you got me thinking about how many strands I'm using now, Jay, as well. That's not a problem though. That's all good. Black is always a good colour. So many black insects. Yeah, and plus, because it's better contrast against the light sky. Normally when I fish, the sun's out, so the fish are going to see a good contrast when they look up. That's my thinking anyway. And I'm sticking with it. Continue to learn every day. I'll be honest, I've forgotten how to make it. It's been a minute or 20. Okay. I'm sure we can check Google. I did see another thing the other day as well about fly colour and lure colour for fishing deep. So where the red photons, just because it's a low energy light, they don't make it down as deep as the blue. So effectively any red coloured objects that are below, I think it's 20 feet or something, they basically look grey anyway because there's no red light down there. And I've noticed it when I've been scuba diving and snorkeling as well. Obviously you don't see that in the ocean when you get down. Let me read this on. Jack Pepper. When I was a kid, they still made glue out of horses. Probably sold the meat to the French. No, they sold it to the Brits and they made lasagna out of it. And there was a big scandal however many years ago, 25 whatever years ago. If it's not 9 strand, it'll not work. Probably reman. I'll have to tie a couple of different variations now and see how I get on. No, Jay, it's fine. I don't mind. I just didn't think about it, right? But then when someone says, "Oh, what about this?" then I'll start thinking about it, and yeah, all good though, mate. It's really no problem at all. I'm the guy that'll look at someone's presentation and then tell them all the spelling mistakes and stuff they've made, or the numbers that don't add up, or all that kind of stuff before actually paying attention to what they're saying. So don't worry about me. Yeah, Jack, really, it's quite funny. Jay, you remember that, the big Iceland lasagna scandal? I mean, it's horse meat. It's not really that. Yeah, it's eaten in Belgium and France anyway. Vintage. In dirty water, that distance is much less. My friend used to fish all red baits because he said once in the water they looked neutral colour. Yeah, okay. It's physics, right? It makes sense. Well, that doesn't make sense. So why that didn't work? So you have overused my nail on that wire, and it's a bit rough. To be careful. Okay. Jay, I'm probably over obsessing over proportions and hook size, but that's only after being told it was overdressing. Yeah, they still sell it in cheap ready meals. Oh, okay. No, Jay, there's nothing wrong with obsessing over proportions, right? There are some. It's like the golden ratio, and there are so many things out there that nature tells us what they should look like, and if we ignore that, then it just looks odd. So no, the proportions are. It's no coincidence that shank length and wing length and hackle length and tail length, right? It's not, you know, there's some room for minor changes in there. There's a tolerance of that, but in general, right, if something looks odd, it looks odd, right? It's like with AI and people having 6 fingers and stuff. It just looks off. And I think it's exactly the same with fly tying. But that's what I think, right? So take it with a pinch of salt. Good for cheesy lasagna, but not good for burgers. I don't know. I've probably eaten horse without knowing years and years ago. I used to spend a lot of time in Belgium. But luckily, when the scandal was out, I was a vegetarian then. By then, so the country Iceland. No, I'm talking about a shop that sells frozen foods. I think you've definitely got the same sort of thing in the US. I can't say my friend caught more fish than me. He also caught no less than me. So maybe he was just right, or maybe maybe the confidence thing, right? You can be fishing the right fly. If you're not confident, then you won't catch. But you can stick on your favourite fly, and because you put that much more effort into fishing it, paying more attention, presentation, and because presentation definitely trumps fly choice always, and you just do it properly. So I think that's got something to do with it as well. I think looking off can trigger that response for fish. Pike will hit anything that looks alien to them. Yeah, it's definitely some of that goes on as well. Ah, very good, wee man. Do I think I have ever eaten horse meat? Nay. Not bad for an ad hoc horse joke. Rob, personally I feel that the colour is nearly irrelevant and the presentation is 90% of the strike and the other 10% is the size of the bait. Yeah, so it looks edible, it looks the right size to eat, sort of right shape to eat, and it's behaving like something I eat, they're going to eat it, right? That's pretty much how it works. Oh, was the sound gone? Hello? Jared, can you still hear me? And so it's an odd question for me to ask, because if you can't, then you're going to say no. Okay. Maybe YouTube got bored of listening to me. I could understand that. Good, good. Thanks, Jack. I'm glad I wasn't saying anything mean about you now. clever, Rob. Cheers for that. Ooh, right on the tips. Dangerous. Wrecked it. My friend used to say, wave if you can still hear me, then say, you know, that idiot over there. Very nice. Number one thing I hear at work, you're on mute. Yeah, okay. Never me though, I'm not on mute. I think that's going to be a nice wing on that. Hopefully it won't fall off. I'm getting a bit more conscious of these. It shouldn't be though, just get on with it. A little stretch, a couple of holding turns, don't pull tight, you give it 3. FYI, Rob in the chatters, YouTube has been messing up for weeks and the audio dies. If it does, close the stream and reopen it. Okay. Okay. They do operate a huge amount of infrastructure. I guess we should forgive them the odd little glitch here and there. So let me try and demonstrate this time, Jack, how not to mess up the whip finish. There we go. And I'll just give it 2 and I'll see how it goes. What I'll do is I'll put, so I know which one it is, a black dot on the top. How'd you like that, Jack? Did you see it? Didn't mess it up once. for a change. I think I forgot to seal this earlier because I was preoccupied. Just get out a little bit there. You didn't see that, Matty. Whatever you think you saw, you didn't. There was definitely no lighters being used in this area. Oh, thanks, Chad. Appreciate that. So, hi, Matty. Nice. Brother Matty in the house. Okay, so because I'm not going to bother putting any head cement on this one, and we'll see how long it lasts, I'll put a little black dot on him, then I know. Where did I put my lid? Oh, there. So I'll give the Jared, I'll give the NIMBY a go. So in the Vice today we have a food stamp variant invented by Charlie Craven, which consists of an emerger hook, some marabou, fine silver wire, 2mm foam cut to 2mm wide, some blacks, what is it? Black SLF squirrel dubbing, some short and fine deer hair, coloured with yellow pen. That's the spin and spiel. Don't do it as good as NIMBY does. He's really good at it, but that's what I was talking about the other day, Jared, or the other morning, should I say. Let's give this a bit of a squish to make it look not so prim and proper. Spin and spiel. He's really good at it. I like it when he does it. I can't do it yet then. So we'll see how it goes. I'll put black dots on the ones without head cement and see how long they last. Hang on, let me see. I think I've... Good. Not a bad impression of NIMBY for a girl. Okay. You did way better than me, mate. Thanks, Jared. I was more like spin. There it is. It's fugly. Tie it. Fish it. Catch fish. Thanks for that, Jack. I appreciate those comments. I appreciate you. You prick. No, I'm only kidding, mate. I'm only kidding. Have you placed it in water? What, the fly? Sorry, Brian, do you mean have I put the fly in water? The turn the turd. Kackwurst. Thanks, Brian. Put me off now. Ping this thread in a minute. Brian, great point. Can we see it in water, Rob? Maybe after you're done tying. Tie one yourself and put it in water. No, we can do that. I can do that for you. But not from all funny angles. It's going to be way too much. I was going to do it in a flower vase. See how it hangs. Yeah, we can do that for sure. But my ramekins all dried up. I'll go and get some. I need to. We have really hard water here as well, so it's all full of calc. What's that? Calcium. Limescale. That's the word I'm looking for. Maybe a clear glass, yeah, see how it hangs. Okay, we can do that. I might have to get a bit inventive, but... Oh, let me see how that works. See if we can see when we do this. Hold on a second. So let's see if we can see this. And then might be able to do it from here. Have to wait for it to catch up. So if I put that So I'll put it here like this. Yeah, that should work. Let's put that back. Yeah, that should work. In fact, let me go and get the water now. I'll be 2 seconds. Okay. Maybe clear glass yet. See it hangs yet. Show it from the side too. Okay. Oof, yeah, we'll give that a blast, see how it goes. So, let me know when you can see that okay. This is going to be a bit more of a challenge to manipulate it to where it needs. Oh, you can sort of see it. It's not perfect, but get it over there. Let's try and move you out the way. Oh, there we go. You see the comments showing nice, floats higher than expected, looks brilliant, thank you, looks good, thank you. Can you do a video on how to organise your workstation? I've noticed you're very neat and do a fair amount of prep. Yeah, I don't think I'm very tidy at all, Jay. Right? I'm looking at this and my OCD's kicking in just looking at all of this. But yeah, if you want, then yeah. Let me just get this out the water. Actually, it does float nicely on the water. I think it'll be. Let me try and get a look from underneath. Oh, it looks good from underneath as well. I'll try and get that captured another way. Let's put that there. And that's without any floating. That did quite well. And at least I've got my ramekin filled up so I can wet my fingers now. We're back in focus. Yeah, that's good. Is that? How's that look? Good. I get easily distracted, Jay, by my desk does drive me mad, and it looks like it does at the minute. And I get too distracted by it, so I have to try and keep it a little bit tidy. But try is the operative word there. Jay, me too. Yeah. Jared, Rob, I just thought of a key point. Someone was talking about cutting earlier. There's a reason not to cut deer hair. It's hollow and forms an air tube when tied off. If you cut it, yeah, and it depends on. It depends on if it's winter deer hair, right, or because their hair gets thicker, hollow holes in it to to allow the air to be trapped and them to stay warm, right? So winter deer hair, belly hair is better than summer or whatever for anything you want to float. I have all my materials in a sewing box and clip bags and whatever else. Mine's on. I get those IKEA pegboards and try and put it there. It used to be in a mobile makeup case, so a beautician's mobile makeup thing. This one's going to look bad because it's all wet, but it will dry out and fluff up. Oh, look at that! What an idiot! That's okay. Yeah, that's true. But I make the mistake of mixing all my deer hair up, put it in the same bag, and then forget which is which, and then go and have to check it, and sometimes get it wrong. But yeah, I would like to get some really good deer hair, because mine is a bit cheap and cheerful. I think this short and fine deer hair I bought for Paraduns. No, Comparaduns, and I think it's the best deer I have. That's how cheap I am when it comes to deer hair. I use Ziploc bags as well, Jay, as well, and then put them on pegs to put them on the board, so I can see what I've got and don't spend hours looking for things or buying stuff that I've already got 5 lots of or something. Not that I have that much, but you know, I don't want to be buying stuff continuously if I've got it. Really need to wax that. Yeah, deer hair kind of has a shelf life. After a while it gets brittle. I think all of stuff does, right? Craig did say about rubbing baby oil, or was it baby oil, Matty? Baby oil into his hackles? I think it was baby oil. Oh, sorry to hear that, Matty. Look after yourself, mate. Hope you get well soon. Hope that subsides. Look after yourself. Are you up tomorrow night or what? Yeah, it's Wednesday tomorrow. Do you do a live on a Wednesday? I can't remember. I'm getting too old for this stuff. Hair conditioner. Where would I get hair conditioner from? Keep with your men's curling iron. Oh, that's true. That's right. Yeah, next to my mascara. That's where it is. Sorry, I forgot that. Jay, I got a load of very old materials when I started from an old boy who was having a clear out, and some of the really old stuff is brittle as weak. Yeah. Yeah, but I've got some stuff from long ago that I got myself when I was a kid, and some of it's still okay actually, but I think it's how you keep it as well. So it's always been sealed, it's always been kept out of sunlight, never in direct sunlight, never in high or low temperatures, and it seems to last. Take 2 bottles to the riverside, not me. I just use wash and go. I think a good airflow too is more important than anything. Yeah, just keep it, look after it. Obviously you don't want mold getting in it, so as long as you're keeping it dry, then it should be fine. I've got some feathers from a bird I found at the side of the road in the garage. I'm terrified to bring it in case it has mites or something in it. It's been there for a couple of months now, it must be. I need to follow Matty's advice and get some bug killer on it. Not at my house. My wife has cedar blocks all over the place. Yeah, but I guess you struggle with the flies around where you are, Jack, on account of all the dead bodies in the place, right, that you've been burying. You need something to keep them away. You need to burn them all still. Not moths, but I killed a turkey and pulled some feathers years ago. Put 8 in a bag on my bench, and after a few months I opened it and oh my god, the mites are there by the millions. Ruined, yeah. That's what worries me. So Craig said put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, and Matty said no, just go to the pet shop and get some bug spray, whatever, bug shampoo for dogs or cats or whatever, which makes perfect sense, right? Makes absolutely perfect sense. Lots of flies and maggots, yeah. Just keep burning them, Jack. That'll do it. I just saw a little fly thing buzzing around. Yeah, it's not worth it. But it wasn't just any roadkill, it was a tawny owl. So I have some of the softest wet fly feathers you could ever get. Obviously you can't get them, but you know, the thing was on the side of the road. But I definitely can't use them and send those flies anywhere because if they get opened I'll probably get arrested. So I won't be doing that. It was beautiful. It was, yeah, it was such a shame. Poor little thing. Absolutely stunning creature. But it was dead on the side of the road. I don't think you're supposed to here either, but I mean, it was, yeah, on the side of the road. The feathers fell off it, stuck to my bike, and what am I to do about these things? Not too long. Game birds you hunt, they're the only feathers you can have. No, okay. Wasn't there a thing last year or something? There was some states, they weren't allowed to even ship capes out anymore, and we had a big shortage of fly tying capes in Europe because of it. One, yeah, that's a barn owl's white face, the white ones. Super soft feathers on them. Got too many. God, why is that done? Oh, it's rubbish. Why didn't anyone tell me that rib was bad? So this will be the last one now, and it's what for me, 20 to 11, and I've done my lot, and I'll knock it on the head. But thanks for all coming along as well. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Jack. I hope you're going to tie some up, because they're just the emerger for you, my friend. And they're not the most difficult tie. Not really difficult to get hold of materials. Yeah. Overall, they're good, and they look like they'll catch fish. You don't need any hackle, Jack. You just need some caribou or softish deer hair, short and fine deer hair. A bit of any colour dubbing, whatever dubbing you're going to colour it. Some marabou, and some fine wire. Copper wire, silver, gold, whatever floats your boat. No, you don't need a cape. There's no no hackle fibres. No, you don't need a cape at all. It's chicken friendly. Okay, now thank you, Rob and chatters, for your friendship, advice, and information this evening. Night. See you soon. Take care, Brian. Thank you. Davey bought taxidermy owls on eBay. Okay, that's insane, right? There's a wire, a Viltia, like a park near here where they have all the old animals that used to live here. Like there's wolves, lynx, bears, and they have owls and eagles and everything there. And I'm thinking I could go there and just pick up whatever falls on the floor. That's nicer. That's how it should have been the first time. do. Don't want to waste any material. Who are you telling? I loved that fly. I thought it looked excellent, and it's a proper foam fly, right? So it looks really cool. I think it would be good to see a video on that. I thought all that stuff was cool, Jared. The rod, the reels, the flies, the stuff that the guy's nephew, was it his nephew sent you, or who invented the fly, and the different newspaper articles on it, and when to fish the flies in which months, and all that was amazing stuff. Really, really cool stuff. His grandson, right? Okay. I'm going to try and do a live from, so at the end of the month I'm heading to Krimmel, and normally to get on the Krimmelach, which is in it's the river that feeds the Krimmel waterfall, so it's the highest biggest waterfall in Europe. And to fish it, normally it's quite difficult. You have to book it quite a lot in advance. Somehow I managed to get 3 days, consecutive days, when I'm there at the end of the month. So I'm going to try and get some a live session done there. At least I'll definitely film some stuff because it's a pretty amazing place. But the only thing is, I think with doing lives while you're fishing, are you going to be able to concentrate enough on the actual fishing? Oh, Jack, you do it, right? Is it not a big distraction all the time? Oh, me too, Jared. I am really looking forward to it. Yeah, kind of. Just, yeah, reading the comments and making sure that it's working. Oh, just all those little things. I think it'll ruin my fishing experience, but I'll give it a go. I've got 3 whole days on that same stretch, so I'm sure I can carve out a couple of hours. Plus, I'll try to go to the Hinton Sea again. That was really nice. I think I've got a short with it. I have got a short with the Hinton Sea on it. It's one of the most stunning places. I think it's maybe just as nice as the Fincal. Maybe. But last week they had a load of snow again, so I hope all that's gone by the time I get there. So we had no snow over the winter. Well, no snow. Not enough snow over the winter. So the skiing was not great. But now I don't want the snow. It's snowing. Yeah, it's the same idea. It's the same approach, right? I do like that fly. It looks cool. I'm not sure whether I'd be patient enough to go through all the steps though of carving it, sanding it, colouring it, varnishing it. It's a lot of effort goes into that fly, but it is really cool. I do like hair wings as well. They're good. They look good. They work well. I'm moving. Okay, let's get some trimmed up. It's not bad. Well, I will say this, when you go through all the trouble to form the body, paint it, tie it together and then put the finish on it and then take it to the stream, hang it 15 feet in a tree, it sucks. Yeah, I can imagine that would not be the best. Yeah, I wonder how you know. In those tree pundits, as Matty calls them. Okay, so that's the oh no, one more thing to do. So marked as a non-head cemented fly, and yeah, let that dry a bit more. Try and tidy up a little bit. At least put things away. Junk over here. Squish those a bit, make them look a bit more dishevelled. That'll sit nice. Good. So the final one. They've all been pretty consistent, I think. Look at them here. Let's grab them all. Try and get them on a something on the back of this. So they're all fairly consistent. More than fairly, they're quite similar. Ah, oh, I can't. I won't do that. Yeah, well, let's quickly change that. Hopefully this will work. Oh no, you can see the flicker. So they look the same. I think I need to change the camera to be, I think, 50 or 60 hertz. It's flickering a bit there, but they'll do. Okay, so that's me gonna knock it on the head and go and get a shower and get myself off to my get some beauty sleep, which I really need. Thank you, wee man. I do appreciate it. That's very kind. Good, so have a nice evening. Enjoy the rest of the week. And I'll probably see you in the next live stream. Maybe even tomorrow, because I think Matty has one, right? So anyway, I'll see you then. Jack, if you're still around, then I hope to see you tie a couple soon, mate, because I think that's the emerger for you. I think it'll be a great fly for you. Thank you, Jared. Okay, take care then. Thank you. Bye bye.